recently made a post on LinkedIn that I quit my job as a trainee teacher at NIT Silchar and also my PhD at IIT Guwahati to pursue my passion and become a full-time writer. After that post, I got a lot of comments from different people. Some were positive, saying that it's so good that you're following your passion, and some were extremely negative that you wasted the government's money by wasting 2 years of your PhD. So neither of these sides actually convey the full story, and that's why I wanted to make a video conveying the actual story behind why I quit my job and what led me to this decision and how I ended up where I am today. I always loved writing and I used to write short stories and poems when I was in school. But then when I came to college, my undergrad degree in NIT Silchar, there was a small break from writing. I didn't write for 3 years around. But in 2014, I discovered Quora. At that time, I didn't have any expectation from writing. I just wrote because I loved doing it. And this was the first time my work was being exposed to so many people on a global scale. And the likes, the upvotes, the comments that came on my answers, they gave me a lot of validation. And they made me feel good that my work resonated with so many people all over the world. And that was why I kept doing. Even though there was no money from writing on Quora, I loved it. I loved the adrenaline rush of that sense of approval from so many people. And I kept on writing because it made me feel good. Then in 2016, I came to IIT Guwahati to do my master's. And that was the first time I met so many people at IIT who were actually courageous about pursuing their passion. Before that, all my life I had this thing told to me over and over again that after your education you get a job and that's the only way you live a happy life. But in IIT, I met so many people who actually inspired me that yes, it is possible to have an unconventional career route and it's possible to make a living by doing exactly what you love. And then I met a friend who also later became someone much more special than a friend, who told me that if I call myself a writer, why do I only write online? I should also write books. And that was the first time, this was in 2018, when I decided that yes, I need to write a book because this has always been my passion and I need something as a proof of it to show that yes, I am a writer. And in 2018, I used to love writing poems that back then also, and I put together about 100 poems, and I put together my first book, Stolen Reflections, which came out in February 2018. Then I published my second book and then my third, and the reviews were really good. The way the people received the books and the lovely comments they gave were very encouraging. But it also made me realize that to make a living as a writer in India, just writing books is not sufficient. To make it financially viable, to actually earn a full-time income from writing, you need a lot of luck and a lot of marketing, which I didn't know at that time. And I couldn't reach to that blockbuster level by which I could, supplement my full-time income just by my book sales. So that didn't happen. And because I didn't know what else to do, again, I had a little bit of break in my writing. And this was also the time when I was starting my PhD at IIT Guwahati and the pressure was starting to build up. So I didn't really have much time to write. So that again, you could say that my writing took a little bit of break during this phase. Then it was during the lockdown when life took a complete 180-degree turn. So I had a full-time job, I had a part-time PhD, I was completely swamped with work, I didn't have any time to write. But during the lockdown, since I was mostly working from home, I suddenly discovered I have much more time in my hands than I ever had in the last 6-7 years. So this was when I started writing online seriously, and then there was a platform called Medium where I used to write articles daily. So Medium has a partner program where the writers are paid based on how much time their stories have been read. And I discovered that if I keep writing, if I was putting out consistent articles, I realized that the income was pretty good. So this was in May 2020 when I first made some amount of money from Medium. It was nowhere near my day job salary, but it was something that gave me hope that yes, this could be a potential career option. It could be financially viable. And this was also the time when I was facing a lot of struggle in my PhD. So since it was a part-time PhD, I couldn't meet my supervisor every day. I could only meet him once a month or so. But that was also put on hold during the pandemic because I couldn't go to IIT Guwahati, and I did not have the necessary tools to complete my PhD at home. So I needed a lot of computational power, and that was only there in my computer at NIT Silchar. And because of the pandemic, I couldn't go to the office and I couldn't do that work on my laptop. So I was trying really hard to, focus on my PhD and really make something good out of my thesis. But it was proving very hard. And on the other hand, writing was something I had always loved, and this was the first time in my life when I was actually seeing results. So naturally, I was pulled more towards writing because in my PhD, it was like even if I worked for 8 hours a day, I could see no productive output because my computer would give up, the software would crash, and I had absolutely no one to consult because all my colleagues at NIT Silchar had already completed their PhD, and I was the only one who was struggling with her research. So those times were actually very hard, and it was like, writing sort of saved me during that time, and I'm so lucky that I found it at exactly the right time, just when I needed it. So that was when I started writing consistently on Medium, and because I believed that the more I write, the more familiar I would be with the platform and the more income I could generate. So there were months when I used to write every day, and I think in March, April, around that time, May, June, July, I wrote like 30 articles in a month. Like maybe for 3-4 months, I wrote 30 articles each month, and my income also steadily kept growing. I think August was the first month, August 2020 was the first month where I made an amount almost equal to my salary from my day job. So that gave me hope that yes, if I keep doing this, maybe one day I can definitely quit my job. And in the very next month, September, I had a few, a few of my articles were accepted into some really well-known publications, and my income almost tripled. So the money that I earned from writing, it was more than double from my day job salary. So in September 2020, I was ready that now I can quit my job. But then my friends and my family members, they advised me to check if this is sustainable, if I can carry out, like if I can carry out writing at this pace, and if I can maintain this income stream for at least 6 more months. So I thought, yeah, that sounds logical. Maybe I should do that because even I was not sure. Right, it's very volatile, right? Writing on Medium is very volatile because the stats are not predictable, and I'm not sure how much income the next month would bring. So I kept on writing, and by December, by January, I had a pretty steady income stream, and I was sure that even if Medium collapses, I had found other income streams, and I knew I could sustain myself. So I was pretty confident at that time. But then the next step was to convince my parents. And before that, I had to, of course, share with my friends. So some of my friends supported this decision. Many of my friends didn't. Because as Indians, we are always told that, a government job is like the most stable and secure option you'll ever have. And actually in India, government jobs are actually considered more sacred than marriages. Like you can get divorced, but you can never leave a government job. You must be crazy to do that. So everyone told me that same thing, and it was a little hard for me as well because I had been conditioned this way. And when I told my parents, they didn't support this decision initially. My father actually told me that if you do this, this is going to be the biggest mistake of your life. And that, of course, gave me second thoughts about this, and I wondered, should I do this or not? But eventually, as I tried convincing my parents, I kept talking to them, both my father and my mother. Eventually, they agreed because I think they saw that my heart is here in writing, and they also saw that it could actually be financially viable. So eventually, they agreed, but it took a long time to convince them. And finally, in around August 2021, I handed in my letter of resignation at my job, and I also told my PhD supervisor that I am not continuing the PhD anymore because I can't do it. And both places were actually supportive. They were like, okay, fine, if you want to leave, then it's your decision. And so here I am, a full-time writer, a self-employed person. I'm actually living the dream that I had. I'm actually living the dream that I had since childhood, and I couldn't have been more grateful. And as we come towards the end of this video, I want to tell everyone who's watching that most people have this idea that the creative pursuits that we have, like music, art, dancing or writing, most people consider these as hobbies, and it's like this will always be a side hustle, it will never be a main gig. But actually, if you keep doing it and if you're really, really passionate about it, and if you love it enough to do it for free for several years, then I think it is definitely possible to make a career out of it. But again, nobody is going to hand you opportunities on a platter. You'll have to fight for them yourself. Because it took me 6 years since I started writing on Quora. It took me 6 years to finally make a career out of it. It did not happen in a day. So I was writing for free almost like on a regular basis for 6 years before I could earn a sustainable income for it. It is important that you have to be willing to put in effort for free before you can actually make a living out of it. But no matter what your passion is or no matter what your hobby is, even if you think no one in the world likes it, you are probably wrong, because there are literally 7 billion people in this world. It is impossible that there would be nobody who enjoys the same things as you do. And everything has an audience. All you have to do is find it. It might take some time, but you will eventually get there if you keep doing it consistently. So I would like to end this with a quote and some food for thought. There is no one in the world who failed because of bad algorithm or bad luck. The only people who fail are the ones who give up and who don't try consistently. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, you can always let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you again soon. Bye.